And we're live.
And
Alright
we're
then.
live. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the most extravagant, flamboyant, absolutely magnificent grand opening of the Gaming Center. I am your co-host,
Oh.
King Monster of Hyper Pain.
Yes, and I'm the host, Haber.
Habere. And today, we are going to be talking about, first of all, we're going to talk about ourselves. I am a YouTuber
Yes.
and also I am a Twitch streamer. I usually game on Twitch and I usually just post some random videos on my YouTube channel. Habere, talk about yourself.
Now, me, I'm more of a consensual person. I usually have a small friend circle. I don't really do much on Twitch or just on social media in general. I mean, I do take to scrolls with X every once in a while, and that's pretty much all you need to know about me.
Very well. And in this podcast of ours, we're going to be, first of all, we're going to be obviously gaming at times, but today we're just going to be introducing ourselves and having some random discussions. But today we already have a selected topic to talk about, and that is none other but the absolute nightmarish, agonizing pain known as Mega Man 2.
Travesty. Yes, it's an absolute travesty of a movie. That's all I can say. Okay. In fact, it's such a bad movie. I decided to give it a nickname, Large Cranium One, because
Lord,
it's so bad it might as well be its own franchise.
you know, actually, when I was also watching the movie, I decided to look up more into the background of it, and I found some interesting facts, by the way, and I'm going to be talking about them later. But I'll just tell you this: watching Cinderella 2, 3, Dalmatians 2, and any other Disney sequel to a movie is better than any of this. In fact, if there was a list of Disney sequels, it would be at the bottom of the list of the best movies. It would literally be the worst out of all of them.
I mean, when I was watching the movie, every single second, okay, and I'm gonna describe this as best as I can, but every second that I was watching it, not a single 10 minutes went by before I wanted to bury the movie and never watch it again. But I forced myself to watch it. In fact, I finished it 2 hours, 3 hours earlier, and by the end of it, I was no- so numb, so tired of this low effort of a movie. Every single time I saw something, I said to myself, how did they have $200 million of budget when a movie such as The Shawshank Redemption had, say, somewhere around $63 million,
Man,
which
look,
is
if you're going to be going
murder.
look, this is Shawshank Redemption we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is a whole other type of style of movie. I'm going to compare it to animation. You know what I mean? Like for example, ever heard of Hoodwinked?
Hoodwinked, I believe so.
This one had like around I'm not sure of the exact percentage but or the exact budget, but it's around 25 million or 50 million. It got over 100 million in the box office.
And meanwhile, let's say I'm going to be focusing more on the quality of the movie itself.
Even the quality of the movie of Hoodwinked is a lot more better.
Honestly, with full honesty, that is the truest statement I've ever heard in my life. Because I've noticed so many goddamn times the way they design the movie is like this. They make a $5 3D model, and then they make animations with a green screen behind the characters, and then they copy paste those characters, and you can see the contours. You can see like the green screen sometimes. I mean, there was one scene I think 10 minutes in where these like this weird Rumpelstiltskin looking person and some weird just fish people, okay? And number one, how deep is that fountain? Number two, if you look in the top left, you can see that hole in the window. It's literally just a PNG. They just animated some PNG, low quality, like two pixels. They put it there, boom. You can see everything. It's
Man,
too easy. Too
Man, the
unfinished.
PNG is actually a lot more better. There was one scene I think you remember. It was basically the Doom Syndicate, or as I like to call them, the dumb, slimy dumb boys, or whatever the hell I'm gonna be calling them. They held like a party and in Megamind's lair. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, there was actually a scene where if you look closely in the left side of the screen, they forgot to animate someone. They forgot to animate them.
I mean, when I was watching that scene, the first thing I said to myself was let's say, have you ever heard of Wii Sports? I'm not necessarily you
Come
have,
on, come on.
for the
It's
people who haven't.
universal. Over 101 million
Yeah.
copies sold.
Yeah. So for the people who haven't heard of it, it's a famous video game franchise released on the Wii.
It comes on
And
bundled with a
basically-
Wii.
Yeah, it's a. I'm talking about Wii Sports Resort, but when it comes to this scene reminded me of Wii Sports Resort bowling. You know how, let's say, every time you go ahead and play and you throw the ball behind you, and all the like spectators just jump up and celebrate as though they're forced to. That's what this scene felt like. Because
Man,
I
at
could
least
see,
that
like,
one
the
had more
characters.
character. That one actually had like a personality. That
I
one,
mean,
the
scene
one
is-
in Megamind
I-
felt devoid of all emotion.
I mean, the way I saw it is the movie. No, not the movie. Sorry, the scene. The characters went from still to dancing immediately. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like they just clicked the emo button on their keyboards or something.
Bro, I'll
It
tell you
feels
this.
exactly like that.
I'll tell you this. Do you know how much the movie, the Megamind 2, it's called Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, but I'm just going to call it
Yeah.
as universally known as Megamind 2. Do you know how much it got it on Rotten Tomatoes from both the critics and the audience?
I've seen the IMDb score. It was what 2.3.
Not 2.3, that's only for critics per se, not for the audience. You know, I like to always split it between audience and critics, but even though Rotten Tomatoes can be very, very terrible. Megamind 2 got 9%, 9% on the critics, and it got 6% on the audience. All right?
One of the few times where critics and audience actually agree with each other.
Yeah, but look at this. You remember the Emoji Movie?
Yeah, I do. I wish I never.
Okay. And the audience got a 36%, which is understandable. It's not horrible per se. It's just boring. It is literally just boring. But what did the critics give it? It gave it a 6%. That is, they're saying that it's the Emoji Movie is worse than Megamind 2. No, it isn't. No, God knows it isn't.
Because at least the animation is smooth.
At least there was a story. At least there was actually progression.
Yeah, at least there's a story. At least the animation is somewhat smooth. At least there's just some like events that are somewhat interesting, although not interesting enough.
It's just
But
because
the
it's
thing
a,
is-
you know, it's a movie about emojis. You know what I mean? It's just who's gonna be
Exactly.
interested?
Also, they put in a lot of cringe trends and stuff like that when it comes to the Emoji Movie. But back to Megamind 2. Another thing I've noticed is how inconsistent some of the scenes are. Let's say, example, in the beginning scenes, okay, there's this one scene where Minion, okay, he throws a little cube with a shark inside of it, okay, and I noticed the physical, like they made the physics wrong. Let's say if you pay too close attention to the scenes of Minion throwing it, or Chum, sorry, and
Yeah.
it's flying through the air, the trajectory. Let's say I don't know how to draw this on the screen, but let's say it's smooth, it curves in the beginning,
Hold on.
and then the moment it switches to the scene. Yeah, and then the moment it switches to the scene of it going into the tank's barrel, it just goes straight down. It's like a what? A
Hold on, hold
fucking
Let me try to.
100-degree angle down.
Yeah, let me try to paint the scene right now. Actually,
I mean, yeah, the physical trajectory just doesn't make sense at all.
I mean,
and I'm
if
not
you- if
really,
you
I'm not
look
really a
close-
man of physics.
if you look closely on every single scene, the entirety of physics just don't apply. It really
Yeah,
doesn't.
yeah. I just started suppressing the physical aspect of the bloody movie because at this point, like I think about 40 minutes in, I decided that at this point I didn't even want to comment anymore. That's how worn out I became.
Man, it's also on other things because, look, this is all because of what? Everyone was thinking that Megamind 2 is going to be better. It's going to be the best. And why is that? I don't know if you remember, but when Megamind first came out, it came out at right around the same time as Kung Fu Panda, and right around the same time as another movie that it's actually kind of escaping my head the current moment. Damn it, Shrek. You know what I mean? It's kind of around these guys. I mean, obviously people would watch, Kung Fu Panda, Shrek, and all that because they were more in the comedic side of things rather than the serious side of things, like Megamind the original. You know what I mean? Megamind was a lot
But
more
at the
original.
same time,
Yeah, like it was a lot more
and-
mature.
Yeah, but at the same time, Megamind has some messages that I think even children should be valuing.
Exactly, and that's why it became even more popular as we grew up, because we started to realize that, okay, yeah, this is a lot more of a story than we thought. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, because number one, it breaks tradition in a very unique way. I
It
mean,
really
this
does.
it really does. It reminds me of that one Twitter post where someone says, "Hey, you know what? Fuck it. Let's see how high humans can really jump by not banning or allowing all performance enhancing drugs." That's what I see this movie as, where they say, "Fuck it. Let's see what our producers can make."
Exactly. It's actually kind of how DreamWorks they always started. I mean, if you look at DreamWorks, they always wanted to be like the main rival against, Disney. And they never really found big hits. I mean, the first biggest hit was Ants, and I'm pretty sure nobody really remembers that movie, but it's basically a movie about trying to fight the entirety of the proletarian dictatorship of one gigantic ant colony, while trying to also unite the masses in order to go by your certain perspective and trying to it's basically survival of the fittest kind of movie. And for a kids movie, come on now, nobody would want to watch that. You know what I mean? But
It's fairly complex.
it's fairly complex, even though that they had Sylvester Stallone starring in it. I swear to you, people, they don't really remember that kind of factor. But no, Sylvester Stallone was in it. But their first major hit was obviously Shrek, undoubtedly. You know what I mean? It's from there that DreamWorks is like, you know what? We can do this better than Disney. We could come up with our own ideas. We don't have to depend on some random stories that we needed to hear from Europe. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, when it comes to Disney, they had to depend a lot heavily upon other stories, like, for example, Cinderella, Snow White, The Sleeping Beauty. Come on, Aladdin with Arabian Nights and everything like that. Even when it
Yeah,
comes to
I mean-
the Jungle Book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the way they do it, if I remember correctly, let's say the original story of Cinderella in German, what the ugly stepsister did to fit her leg into the shoe. This wasn't in the Disney version, but apparently she broke her
She
own
broke
foot.
her own foot. Yeah.
Yeah, from what I remember.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
When it comes to Disney, I mean, if you look at the original European slash German stories, you always find that they were absolutely terrifying.
Very
Example,
terrifying. Come on,
I mean,
have you ever read that book, the Pinocchio or Pinocchio book where they were literally hanging Pinocchio on that's when he was still a piece of wood, you know what I mean? But they were literally
or
hanging him from a
Aladdin.
tree.
I mean, Aladdin, if I remember correctly, although it's been a while, so if my memory is wrong, please correct it. But if I remember correctly, Aladdin in the original Alif Layla wa Layla, or
Alif Layla wa Layla, or
yeah.
1001 Nights, or basically universally known as Arabian Nights.
Yeah. So in the book, if I remember correctly, Aladdin had no limits on wishes. Okay, he could make as many wishes as he wanted.
Yeah, and not
the
just that, he
genie-
didn't just have a lamp, he had a ring.
Yeah, and from what I remember, the genie hated him because he was a self-serving and selfish man.
Exactly, yeah, that's true, yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
that
remember. But
only
back
happened
to
like
the
a
subject of
scene,
Megamind.
only a scene in the in the Aladdin movie, but they didn't really focus heavily on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Now,
and even if we're looking through all that, I mean, come on. Even Disney, they came up with ideas of their own. Come on, Mickey Mouse is their own idea. No one can deny that. Winnie the Pooh, which was also just an original book, but they decided to animate it. You know what I mean? It's all like this one is, Disney, or sorry, DreamWorks. They were the company to become their best rival compared to others. I mean, come on. Warner Brothers can only do so much. They never made a big, major movie. Their biggest major movie to this day is Space Jam. You know what I mean? But
I get what you mean.
yeah, but as far as like movie hit after hit after hit, back then, come on, Disney was the number one to go. It was internationally known. It's not just like, oh, it's just the United States. No, this was known even in the Soviet Union, even in Iraq, where it's even during these, disasters and whatnot, everyone still knew it. And DreamWorks, it had to compete with that, and they did. They're still alive. They're still growing, and come on, they're still putting up a fight.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're going a bit off topic. Let's stick and go back to Megamind 2 or Large Cranium 1, as I say.
It's because I'm trying to lead to that kind of perspective. I'm not trying to go off topic. What I'm trying to say is Megamind was their biggest, like one of their biggest hits because it's an original idea that nobody even thought about. It's not like, Shrek or Puss in Boots that it originated from some book. This was their own original idea and they perfected it. They perfected it in the first movie because it aged so well. And
Truly.
And Megamind 2, it felt like I don't know if you're aware of this, but Kung Fu Panda, the show, and the Penguins of Madagascar, the show. You know what I mean?
Actually, fun fact. While I was watching Megamind 2, near the end, I got so mad. I screamed at my video. Even Little Panda Fighter by that one Brazilian company is better than this piece of shit because. At least it has something.
Bro, freaking, what was it? What was that stupid movie?
Top Cake Panda? That's a French one?
It's not even just that. Ever heard of, come on, High School Musical, as far as how cheesy it is a lot more better than this.
Truly.
You know what I mean? Come on, like.
Very true.
Very much.
It's a nightmare.
And the thing is, do you know what also upsets me even more? They just released a show that actually is the continuation of Megamind 2.
Yeah, I saw that while I was searching for Megamind 2.
Yeah.
Large Cranium 1. I found that. Now, on to another thing about Megamind 2.
Yeah.
Is that it is a butchering of Megamind 1's timeline. Because, let's say...
You mean everything, and not just the timeline.
Yeah, and they butcher everything canonical about the first movie, and they make it into an entirely new movie. In fact, it's so bad...
Yeah, Metro Man and Titan are dead.
Yeah, in fact, it's so bad I don't even consider it to be canonical Megamind 2.
Everyone is saying that because they're literally ignoring everything from the first movie.
I mean, yeah, number one, they completely butchered the fact that Megamind was in prison for most of his life, from the moment that he was sent off of this planet all the way until he kept on breaking out and stuff like that.
And they butchered this by how? If you manage to last through the credits, it's not actually an ending. Someone bursted the freaking dumb syndicate out of jail, and he called himself Machiavellian or whatever the hell it was, and he said that he taught Megamind everything he knows. He was living in a bloody jail for his entire life. He learned it from everybody. Not some one specific person, and especially not a specific person that looked like an alien. He was in between a bunch of humans.
I mean, you can. It's very clear in the. I apologize for the printer. But it's very clear in the first 10 minutes of the first movie. It shows him being taught lessons by the prisoners themselves. It's all too clear.
It's just too obvious. And the thing is, some people are going to be saying, but this is meant to be a kid's movie. No, it isn't. Before even the trailer came out, freaking DreamWorks came out on Twitter and Facebook and every single social media post that they ever had saying, hey, look who's back. He's coming back. And everyone, obviously, come on, even me included, we were like, yes, finally, good, a sequel. We've all been waiting for it. What do you know? We saw the trailer. Everyone lost hope. Because the moment that I saw Peacock is in charge of it, I lost all hope. And if nobody knows anything about Peacock, watch Ted this show.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, me myself, I'm not much of a recent movies connoisseur, but even I know that Megamind 2, Large Cranium 1 is it's a travesty. I don't know how to describe it. It's beyond a travesty. Firstly, number one, it ruins a childhood movie. Number two, it is beyond low effort. I mean, I'm convinced. There's no way to convince me otherwise. That what they did with that $200 million is they rolled it up and snorted cocaine with it. I'm not even going to deny that.
Actually, you just reminded me. Ever heard of the worst movie that dubbed the worst movie of all time? Ever heard of it?
I think so. Yeah.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it's called? Huh?
No, unfortunately, I'm not aware.
It's a 2001 movie made by what was his name? It's made by Tom Green. Tom Green is basically some random Canadian. Let me just. Okay, the movie's called, I swear to God, Freddy Got Fingered. It's an hour and a half long movie made in 2001, and it got 10% on Rotten Tomatoes, 13% on Metacritic, and 5 out of 10 on IMDb, which is, if you're gonna be looking at it, it's a lot more than freaking Megamind 2. And why is that? Just why is that?
Even though I don't know much, I can easily make an assumption that they didn't actually launder the money, or they actually did some, I don't know, something.
Like, the budget was $14 million, which back then, in 2001, I guess that would be equating to around.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, like back then, like maybe nowadays it would be around $25 million, but like, I watched the movie, it is horrible, and I mean it is horrible. Like, there are scenes that you just want to turn your head. However, there are scenes that, well, actually, every single scene, you just don't believe that it happened, that you actually just laugh a little. You actually laugh a little because of how stupid, ridiculous, terrible, and unpredictable it is.
Now, one thing that I can say...
Compared to Megamind 2, everything is predictable.
Yeah, okay, now let me just say this. I can say this with 100% assurity, even though I've not seen Freddy Got Fingered, very, very weird name. Even though I haven't seen it, I am 99% sure, no, not even 99, 100% sure, there is no woke ideas injected into it. Like, every single scene of Megamind 2 or Large Cranium 1, every single scene is beyond woke filled. I mean, when I was watching the movie, I swear to God, I got so mad, like, I started shaking from anger, you know? I started shaking from anger and shouting at my screen again.
I'll tell you this.
And hold on, just let me finish. Yeah. What I said was, this specific scene is so filled with woke ideas, and it's just absolutely... I don't think I can finish that sentence.
Yeah, just don't, you know what I mean? Like, I understand what you mean. But the thing is, what makes it all just unbelievable and stupid, this happened 2 days, in a matter of 2 days after the first movie. You mean everyone just started having cell phones, everyone starting to stream on Twitter, on Twitch and everything, in a matter of 2 days after the first Megamind 1 movie? Sorry, just Megamind 1 movie? Like, just 2 days? Everything is just so, like, a literal 14-year spam? 14-year span? How is that even possible? It doesn't make any sense.
No sense at all.
Also, if you focus even on the movie just a little bit, freaking Roxanne, she wanted to become a freaking Twitch streamer because she was getting jealous of a little girl. What do you know? That's not what she gets. She becomes a freaking mayor because she's the only one competent of leading paramedics and firefighters and cops in the city.
Yeah, okay, what I did when I saw that is I said to myself, and this is the direct quote, that I hate movies where they take certain things, I mean, they call themselves woke, they call themselves progressive, they call themselves these annoying things that I never wanted to even know they did, but they say all that. And then, the next moment, they are like, I don't know how to put this lightly, so I'll just say it bluntly, is that they're discriminating against whites, they're discriminating against men, because the way they did it in the movie is, of course, I'm not racist at all, but the thing is, I get so annoyed when people give roles to different races for no reason other than their race, because for me, it's more like a rat race, or no, not a rat race, that's...
Dude, just calm yourself a little bit down, man.
Okay, yeah, I will try to calm myself down. I apologize.
Like, look, I understand what you mean, and the thing is, it also pisses me off because none of this was ever needed. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna be adding to it? It's not like I remember basically there are movies, like, for example, if you're familiar with the show of Hercules, the Hercules and his incredible journey. Like, come on, he had female characters who are not just there for the case, just for the sake of being female. No, they actually have a freaking personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thankfully.
Hell,
Although
what
when
are
it
we
comes to
even,
Mega
why are
Man
we even
2,
just sticking to shows and movies? We could just go on to literally every single platform of video games where, for example, in frigging God of War. Come on, Freya. Everyone loves Freya because she actually has a personality.
yes, but the thing is about Mega Man 2 is that nobody has a personality.
Even
Absolutely
Megamind
nobody.
himself doesn't even have a personality. The dude doesn't even know how to use a freaking toaster.
I mean, what I said to myself, no, when I was watching the movie, admittedly, one thing made me laugh. Exactly one thing, and it was a roast. Are you aware of that scene where Roxanne gives muffins to Megamind?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Megamind says, like they're so bad that he has to use them on the dumb syndicate. That's the only time where I even let a tiny chuckle.
No, for my case, the only one that got me a tiny little chuckle was that that scene where they were trying to prepare to fight against the freaking Dumb Syndicate, and they had to buy stuff. Thing is, he said, "What do you mean buy stuff? You mean you have to pay for stuff?" Whoever came up with that idea is an evil genius.
Oh, I remember that scene so well.
Yeah, so I actually was like, okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. That one actually got a chuckle from me. You know what I mean? He basically insulted capitalism in all general sense of it. But hey, whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, did they pay what was really worth? Because how the hell did they defeat the Doom Syndicate? Do you remember?
If I remember correctly, they threw tennis balls at them. No, not threw, shot tennis balls at them. And then from there, Megamind sticks his weird disguise thing onto 19 Knight, which is his actual name.
Yeah.
He says it's darker. And, but by the way, 19 Knight is the only recurring joke that that actually has any brain cells put into it.
Yeah, well, at the same time, it takes away they're putting brain cells into it. They put brain cells into it by taking our freaking brain cells out of it.
Yeah, it's a weird cycle. Now, from there, basically just using all their weapons and shit. Okay, I don't really remember that scene very well. But
Okay,
the thing
I'll summarize it. They shoot tennis balls. They beat them by literally mere chance.
yeah. So the thing is, when I was watching that scene, I always said to myself, like, the city's gonna land any time now. And by the time the city actually landed, I got extremely mad. Because the thing is, like, even though, again, as I previously mentioned, I'm not a man of physics, but when it comes to the physics of the city falling, number one, a small fun fact before I continue, the ISS, you're aware of how people on there, they don't feel gravity?
Yes.
But the only reason they do is because they're in free fall. But if you stop the ISS in its place, they'll feel 90% of Earth's gravity.
90% of that, yeah.
Yeah, and so if I remember correctly, another example that I used to prove my point while I was arguing with myself about this scene was there was this one man that jumped from the absolute edge of space, and he reached Mach 2, a singular man who weighed what, let's say 100 kilos. He reached Mach 2, terminal velocity. So imagine what a whole ass city would, the speed it would reach from let's say, if we look at how far it dropped and how long it dropped, we can safely assume that they were halfway to the moon, which is impossible in the manner of a few minutes. And let's just say if they had reached Earth by my very unprofessional calculations, they would have reached a max speed of Mach 6.
A whole ass Mach 6. Like, not even a freaking, what was it? Hold on, the Blackbird is even faster than that.
Yeah, and also, but still, that's very fast for a fucking city which isn't aerodynamically designed.
Metropolis even. It's not even a city, it's a metropolis.
Yeah, but the thing is, the one part that made me rage at the movie was the fact that when you could see the scene where they started the engines for the city to break the fall, the city was not even going above 100 knots, which is what? Let's say 132 kilometers per hour. And that is like the speed of a small plane, like a Cessna 152.
I mean, I'll just tell
That's
you
not
this.
even the cruising altitude.
I'll just tell you
Cruising
this.
speed, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just tell you this. I gave up physics from the very beginning of the movie because as soon as I just saw his talking animation, I was like, yeah, physics has just left the room. You know what I mean? And just the like,
Very much so.
yeah, it's not even just the talk. It's just how they move. It's just unnatural. And not even
It's much too unnatural. Because
very
the
much
thing is,
unnatural. Comparing it to the first movie, where every single hit you can literally see how well animated and well actually calibrated with a real person moving.
In fact, that actually reminds me. In one scene where, if I remember correctly, which one was it? Oh yeah, the dancing scene. I commented how the animators must have never seen a person dance because like in number one, no motion capture with a $200 million budget, no motion capture, which is disappointing in the least. Like that's an understatement. But
Again,
it's
that's just
disappointing.
Peacock for you.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, if anyone in real life danced like that, number one they'd be the butt of the entire internet's jokes, and number two, I don't think they would be alive.
Man, come on. You remember it's the movie back in 2018, 2017 or something like that? You remember that dance, right? Come on, it was funny, alright? It's just...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and the thing is, we saw how many freaking TikTok dances. I mean, the current famous one is the one with Prince of Egypt, but come on, at least that actually has body functions. At least that actually is normal, that I can see it. Yeah, I can do that.
And yeah, and at least someone can do it. But the dances that Megamind did are beyond impossible. I mean, unless you're a fucking circus girl, there is no way in hell you're doing those dances.
Not even Squidward is flexible enough to know what to do that.
And beans, yeah, that's beyond true. Not even Squidward, because the animation, I can do the same animation for $20, and I don't know jack shit in 3D animations.
Well, you have to, they gave $100, or they just, the freaking Wakadiwood Productions, Roman Phil Productions, they had only $100, and they made something worth a lot more than $100.
No, $200, and yes, $200 and a bunch of extremely motivated men, and they killed it. I mean, I swear, that movie it filled an empty space in my heart. Who killed Captain Alex? For those who
we still don't even know who killed him.
Yeah, we still don't know. I mean, I think everyone is more than willing to donate more than, say, millions of dollars just to see the sequel so we can know who finally killed him. Was it his wife? Or no, his concubine, his spy? Or was it like some tiger mafia thing? We don't know, and we want to know.
Come on, it's been how many freaking years since it came out? We just want to freaking know. Anyway, we're just getting sidetracked with this thing. But let's be honest, that's a good sidetrack in order to just make us forget about it.
The Large Cranium one is so bad, we just don't want to talk about it, but we
All
really
right.
did our research, so...
All right.
continue.
Let's come up with another the topic of discussion. What about another movie or another show? I mean, everyone is literally just talking about the current what was it? That one, the Destruction Man, whatever the hell, Demi Man. You know the one where
You want to just rip a new one for another woke show, or no, not a woke show, a show that went from normal to woke.
I mean, look, I don't care about the wokeness of the thing because as soon as you tell me like woke, I always say, how woke? Are you trying to say hip with the kids kind of woke, or the other spectrum of kind of woke? Because
Just hold on. So I'm just gonna say this with the context that I previously mentioned. Imagine SpongeBob SquarePants. Just think to yourself. The fact that the show's creators on Twitter, I think last Pride Month, they confirmed that SpongeBob was gay.
Come on, dude. That's just a bunch of trolling. Look, at this point, everyone will go out their way saying that and this and that just in order to gain some people liking it. And I'll just tell you this, no one, not even them, will like it. No one, literally no one, because first of all, it's a freaking sponge. It's a freaking sponge. No one cares about any of this. And second of all,
Very much
who looks at a freaking squirrel, a squid, a star, a starfish, a sponge that says, "Yeah, I want to hit that." Who?
Honestly, no, hold on. Let's just say, no, I've actually met people like that. I genuinely have.
Look, if you're gonna be telling me about some artists and the freaking internet, yes, I understand that. But hey, what the hell? But meeting people that actually says, "Yeah, I want to hit that sponge real good." Come on now.
No, I met one.
How was I even? Okay, how the hell did that freaking interaction go?
Let's just say, okay, so every Friday or so, I go on to random servers because I'm bored, and when I say bored, I mean mega bored. And I just go into the VCs whenever there's somebody there, and I ask them like, "Oh, hello, how are you?" That type of stuff. And I saw someone, and I don't know whether it was a boy or a girl, because the thing is, everyone kept on referring to it as a he, but it sounded exactly like a woman. So I'm torn between whether it was a femboy or a woman. But anyways, the thing is, that person was one of the biggest simps for SpongeBob that I had ever seen in my life. I mean, there's no way to understate it.
Bro, you could just
Simp
download
for
Nickelodeon
SpongeBob.
for free and just watch every single free episode.
I mean, really, it's better. Yeah, I know. It's better to fucking pirate the movies. No, not the movies. The show and the movies than to I don't know, simp on SpongeBob.
How does one even simp for SpongeBob? What he gets aroused after every single regular kitchen sponge they see?
I'm pretty sure like that person that I met has a scrub daddy, and I'm scared of him to think what the hell he did with that scrub daddy.
Okay, well, I just don't want to imagine any kind of thing that had to do with a sponge
No,
anymore.
sponsor.
Please, that's enough with the
Yeah,
sponges.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's
You-
go to something else.
Yeah, like come on. We just went this conversation from ripping a freaking terrible ass Peacock movie and to some discussion about some weird person that you met that has
Yeah.
a thing for sponges. For sponges,
Yes,
for the love of God.
Unfortunately, I mean, I told that I just told that person to have a nice day, and I left that server immediately.
Well, yeah, I would have left it the very moment that I hear someone is having an arousal for sponges.
I was so curious as to see like what the hell. Like, that's exactly what I said to myself. What the hell am I looking at, or who the hell am I talking to? So the moment I saw, or no, not saw, heard her speaking of him in these ways, I just like there's no mouse click that has been faster than mine when I left that server. Now going to another show. Let's think.
Okay, how about what was that new? Everyone's talking about this new show. The freaking second season of it is just terrible. Omni-Man.
Omni-Man.
Are you familiar with
no.
that?
Unfortunately, I'm not.
All right, I'll just tell you this: the first and this is Netflix. All right, so the episodes are immediate. All right, every single episode is obvious. It doesn't take like a week.
The moment you said Netflix, I knew for a fact I was never going to watch it because I avoid Netflix like the plague.
Well, this one is originally a comic from Marvel that isn't woke by any means, so you can just calm yourself after that. It's actually quite a good story, and I actually read the comic book itself. It's quite good. I like it.
Yeah, I'd rather read the comic book.
Yeah, come on. It's a lot more. And even I saw the first season actually kind of captured it quite well, but the second season, oh man, they just did it terribly. They just did it terribly.
Everything drops off after this season or two. Absolutely everything.
I didn't think that it would also be the episode, so oh well, whatever. Okay, so 12 episodes in the first one with actual story progressing, and there's actually a connection between the comics and the show. And then the second show came out, and literally everyone just remembers one scene. Is that, oh, what do you know? Like, you don't know the story, right?
Unfortunately, I don't. You can
All right.
spoil it.
Omni-Man is a veteran or basically an alien from outer space he's basically Superman, alright? But can die, alright?
Okay.
And their mission, the moment they're born, is to, increase the size of the empire, or conquer. Basically, just conquer the world. And
Oh, basically British.
yeah, pretty much a British Superman. All right, pretty
Okay,
much a
okay.
French or British Superman. And same thing with the arrogance as well. The only thing is that they speak American accents and not British. So, but hey, Americans are British, so yeah, let's just go by the after that fact. So one of them, I forgot his original name, but his name is Omni Man. All right, he was sent to Earth in order to conquer it, and usually the way he does it is to make a family of his own in order to kind of like, how can I say, blend in with society, or that's what the strategy he decides to go through, rather than just conquer it immediately. And the reason that he didn't just conquer it immediately is because he saw that there were other villains, so he had to kind of gain some
Grease.
reputation in order to get everyone's trust, in order to backstab him by the very end. And he almost did that in the first season. The only thing is that he had a son, and veterinarians, they originally have, like they all have children. But this one is a lot more different. This one is with a human, and humans are known for their compassion and their kindness and their understanding of other creatures and whatnot. His name is Mark, and
Scarily.
yeah, what?
It's scarily. It's a bit of a common theme with every single fantasy universe.
Exactly. And the moment that Omni-Man decides to betray everyone, his ultimate fighter would be Mark. The thing is, he almost killed Mark, like very, very easily, because Mark is still not there yet. He's still strong, but not that strong. And the reason that he didn't kill him immediately is because, well, it's his son. How can he do it? And he said, after 500 years, and everyone is dead, who will you have to save? And he says, I still have you, father. That's what made Omni-Man very emotional. He escaped the Earth. He started a new family in the second season, where he basically married an ant woman. Yes, I'm serious. And yeah, he's saying, look, I'm better now, son. I just want to be back. No, you almost killed me, kind of thing. And that's literally the only thing that anyone remembers out of the second season. Everything else is just
It's a
forgotten.
blur.
It's literally a blur, because first of all, that's not as long as the second arc of the comic, and second of all, come on, 9 episodes, and third of all, the characters, they did not really get them right. They really did not get them right.
I mean, when it comes to any film or animated show or anything of that sort, I always like the characters to have. Oh, hold on. One person gave me a diagram. Would I rather have a few well-written characters, or a shit ton of badly written characters, or let's say a mediocre amount of somewhat well-written characters? I always choose well-written characters, like a few well-written ones, because I'd much rather have like a potential for a genuine personal connection to a character than to just treat them as say an emotionless object. I mean, I think it's a universal thing where NPCs. If a gamer accidentally makes an NPC sad, the gamers will feel very bad. But there's some characters where if I make them feel bad, I have no remorse, because they're that one dimensional.
Exactly, it's like every single freaking NPC character in Skyrim.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
They're ridiculously stupid.
Very much. Very freaking much. Anyway, let's move on to another topic. Which one are you looking to talk about? Shows or video games?
Let's try to keep a common theme when it comes to shows, or no, let's say movie adaptations.
Yeah, movie adaptations. Well, the most recent idea for a movie adaptation is, well, the the remake of Snow White, actually. Or the real life version of Snow White.
no. Let me guess. Wasn't it that one meme where it says the directors were saying like something about how Snow White will be dreaming about. I completely forgot.
Well, since you already are anti-woke, the actress is a young 15 or 17-year-old lady. She's Latino, So
Okay, I'll see that.
so that takes away the snow out of the name.
It truly does. I mean,
You know what I mean?
when it comes to films, I mean, I don't mind if you bring in a talented actor. I don't care about the race. I don't care about anything. Talent is important for me. But if you bring in, oh no, hold on, what was I saying? No, if you bring in an untalented actor, now I'm not calling that the actor for the new Snow White character untalented. I still haven't watched it yet, but
It still
if
didn't
you
come out yet.
fundamentally, yeah, if you fundamentally change a story to fit your political agenda, it just no. Like, I
It's not even
cannot be
just
friends with
political. It's
you. I
just an
cannot
agenda in general.
agree
And the
with
thing
you.
is, like they didn't just like look change an actress or fit some kind of idea, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't give a damn. But at least keep the story the same. You know what I mean? Like that's how it usually went out in like little plays when we were children. Like they'll have actresses and actors. They don't look like the characters, but hey, look. They still have the personality. They still have the character. They have the talent to actually be like
Exactly.
yeah. You know what I mean? Like you can just
Yeah, but hold on. This actually reminds me of a meme I saw. It's a meme where, let's say, Disney's making announcements of like with them making each a movie, and they say like Snow White, instead of dreaming about true love, he dreams about becoming the woman that she wants to become. And for Prince Charming to kiss her, she has to go into he has to go into her dream and get.
Bro, actually, there's a rumor that says that she will not actually bite the apple because she will fight against the witch for some reason. You know what I mean? Literally just change the entirety of the story for just the sake of it. And the thing is, if you want to change the story, you might as well just go take the Maleficent turn, which actually did become a good story. Come on. I don't accept hearing anything bad about Maleficent and Maleficent 2. They're actually well written stories. Even Cruella DeVille.
I mean, yeah. And continuing about that meme I saw. And then they mentioned Pinocchio. And you want to guess what they changed about it?
What the hell? What? He's not gonna be wood. He's gonna be made of steel.
No. The meme. I forgot the YouTuber that made it, but the meme said that we will be making it so that Pinocchio's nose will not grow to not offend our male audience on the smaller side. Which
It's
is
a freaking kids movie.
It's one of the most laughable concepts I have ever heard in my life. In fact, this new wave of politically motivated movies makes some of the
It's just.
it
It's not
makes
even.
magic
No. It's not even political. It's just a freaking meme. It's a meme.
at this point. Yeah, and in fact, those movies are so bad it makes Magic Mike look good.
Man,
I'm being serious.
Man, look, I watched the 2022 Pinocchio movie. I watched it, and man, I got me cringing hard from Tom Hanks's terrible freaking Italian accent. Honestly.
I mean, I focus more on the other one, Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. I honestly really like that one because the one where they have like this. I forgot that, but the only detail that I remember perfectly is the fact that when Pinocchio lies, his nose doesn't grow in the traditional sense where it just like grows outwards. It grows as like it's a tree, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to this movie, honestly, like I legitimately like it. And also, my favorite part about the movie was the fact that they had uncensored use of like realistically, historically accurate Italian symbols at the time.
I mean, if you went all your way in order to actually, bring Italian actors who actually know the story from when they were children, I'm pretty sure
from
you would
Hobbs.
go all out.
I mean, yeah, I have a saying. I heard the saying: "Do not censor history, or only hate it if you don't like it." But let's say that actually applies a lot to certain areas where people like don't like showing the symbols. But I'm the type of person where if you don't show the symbols, then how are people going to be educated in like how this symbol is bad if they don't even know what the symbol is? Now that's why I do not approve of censorship of historical symbols. I don't like it.
Exactly. I mean, if you remember the freaking Aladdin remake movie, right?
Yeah, I do. I think the Will Smith one. I think I watched it.
Yeah, it's actually a good, decent movie. I don't know why
Yeah,
critics
it's
they
decent.
freaking hate it. You know what I mean? First of all, they actually fixed some of the controversies that the original movie had. Like, for example, the Sunday Salon. You know what I mean? It's not like in how it applies in the Middle East, which is a Friday. You know what I mean? And second of all, it's just that, okay, no, they're actually bringing in a little bit of the culture a lot more. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
okay,
they
this
do,
is how
especially
the
in the
bazaars
song.
actually look like, how much of a mess it can be.
My favorite part about where they brought in the Arabic culture the best was in the song, or the remake of the song Arabian Nights.
Oh, come on.
Because-
Arabian Nights, the remake, it is absolutely beautiful. They used every single great Middle Eastern mix of an instrument in it. The oud was
Honestly,
beautiful.
Like I can't. Like the thing is, I love that song with all my heart. It truly is good. The original and the remake.
Yeah.
Both of them, absolutely amazing.
And you have to admit, like, look, I know you hate wokeness and all that, but come on. Will Smith killed the act.
As I said, I don't care about the race as long as the actor is good.
Exactly, and
But
that's where I'm good.
seriously.
That's why I'm good friends with you, because as long as talent applies, that's all you need. That is all you freaking need. Also, at least for some of those freaking conservatives, you know, like they say, oh, but they don't have to. Bro, it's a freaking genie. Who cares?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I remember correctly, in the original lore, Genie is a banished pagan god, and like they must. I completely forgot, but something about the pagan gods.
Well-
and so if it's a pagan god, why care about the fucking race? I mean,
Exactly.
It's a fucking.
I still remember some people are pissed off about that, or hell, about that the song "Speechless." You know, I won't be speechless. That is actually a good, decent song with an actually good,
really is.
you know, with a good message within it. You know, like I will not be silent to any any bad misjudgment or something like that. You know what I mean? Come on now, that's actually a good
Yeah.
song. And come on, the actress, she had an amazing voice. She had an amazing voice.
Again, as I said, talent. As long as there's talent, I don't care about anything else.
I mean, what the hell do you want her to be? Freaking a weird like a 5-year-old beauty pageant for mini girls?
Oh my god, I hate those beauty pageants.
Bro, I still
They're
remember
so
Netflix. They
unnatural.
made an entire show about that stuff.
Seriously.
Unironically, they were basically trying to show the message that they shouldn't do that. Well, if you shouldn't do that, why even make a show about it?
I mean, I love the joke about how, let's say something ridiculous happens and they say, okay, when's our Netflix show gonna be made? It's funny. It's also regrettable.
Very, very much rentable, and I'm thanking God that everyone forgot about it because it was a travesty the moment that it was announced. Honestly.
I mean, yeah. When it comes to that, I think we're steering more towards a more controversial topic. But I suppose,
Bro, come on.
we can
Whoa.
continue.
What's controversial about pedophilia? Pedophilia is terrible.
Yeah, I know. I'm just. You never know. You never fucking know. At
You
this
never
point,
freaking know about.
you really
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a lot to like. Look, I'm a Muslim. I will freaking say that. All right, it is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
It's true. Yeah, I'm also a Muslim, and I also say it is the most disgusting thing a man can commit, or no, not even a man, just anyone.
Just
can
anyone.
commit.
Just anyone.
I
Honestly.
mean, yeah, I always say, in my language they say pishamam. It means regrettable. And so I always say that it is regrettable whenever someone, honestly, pishamam, regrettable is not even a good translation, but it's shameful and regrettable at the same time.
Yeah, and again-
how you are forcing these young children, like you're feeding your own ego and you're forcing them to have an ego, and by making them like slathering like 20 kilos of makeup onto them just to make them presentable. I mean,
Exactly.
it makes no sense.
Exactly. I remember actually back in 2011 or 2012, there was a whole news broadcast about this one young beauty pageant star, Honey Boo Boo. I think that's what they called her. Look,
Oh, yeah.
she had a whole South Park episode just for her.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it. My
Hey.
favorite part was the mud wrestling.
Exactly. Come on, great minds think alike, bro. That's the only way I actually know her because of that South Park episode.
Yeah, I never even knew she existed until the South Park episode.
No,
Listen, I
like-
watched South Park like 4 years ago.
Exactly. Like everyone, they mostly know it from the freaking South Park episode. I mean, come on. South Park really ripped her to shreds. You have to freaking admit it.
Yeah, if I remember the episode correctly, I'm not sure who. I don't remember who, but they went to go raise the bar, and I think Hillary Clinton was there. Like Hillary Clinton was there, egging on the mud fight between Cartman and Honey Boo Boo. And wait, who was on the mobility scooter again?
Then I'll just tell you that I think that's just Cartman. And
Yeah.
and bro, it's just that the way that they introduced her is basically like this. Her favorite foods are Getty and butter, and she likes to drink Red Bull and Mountain Dew.
Yeah, very much so. It's just
I'm only 6 years old and I already have 5 heart attacks, girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm already 6 year old and I'm already 6 years old and I already look like I'm a divorced mother with 4 children.
Oh Lord Almighty! It's just
4 heart attacks.
you know it's South Park whenever they just come up with the most vile, most darkest humor you ever seen in your life.
I mean, seriously, I think both of us can just go on ranting about South Park for hours upon hours, because the thing is, the creativity of each episode is beyond. It's beyond words, to be honest.
I mean, because it's all unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, at one second everyone's just going on a trip, and then as another second, Carmen he's saying, "Cosmo's that bitch, and the big fat bitch, and the biggest bitch in the whole wide world."
Oh yeah, or everyone's drinking s'more schnapps and reenacting the Civil War. And all of a sudden, Cartman is trying to overthrow the U.S. government with a bunch of drunk people.
All right.
What?
Look. As far as the controversial controversial episodes, I'm not looking to mention them a lot. You know what I mean? But look, that's just South Park for you. Everything is controversial if we think about it. But
Absolutely
hey, that's why we still love them, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, because they're the only ones who are not afraid to really get out there, you know?
Oh, come on, even Simpsons and Family Guy, they went out there.
Yeah, I know, but they're the only ones. Who
South Park is a whole
yeah.
other sense of out there. I know what you mean.
Yeah. Like the thing is, I once heard someone mention. I watched a video and they explained how every single time there was new like standards. Trey Park and Matt Stoney, I think their names were the creators. And what they would do is they would go to the very boundary between getting between getting canceled the show and getting like just barely acceptable. They would go there and they would camp there until the standards were lowered again, and then they would go back to the new boundary and camp there.
As Thanos would say, a perfect balance, as all things should be.
I mean, yeah. If you look at the older episodes, you realize they're very tame.
Oh no! The older episodes, they were still on a leash. They were on a leash.
Yeah, they're relatively tame compared to the newer ones.
Even in
Because
video
at the
game
time-
standards.
And even though those tamed episodes were still good, they were controversial at the time. I'm not joking.
Come on.
I still remember the episode. I think it was Y2K.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, where they portrayed God and everyone like as a weird cat thing, and everyone just lost their minds.
I mean, it's still controversial even to this day if you think about it. I mean, if you show that to
truly
Eastern
is.
countries, oh no.
Yeah, you'd probably most likely be. If you did that, I'm not even sure you'd be able to survive.
No. I'll
It's
just tell you that you
impossible.
won't. You just won't. All right, you just will not. Anyway, moving out of the topic of controversy, or basically controversial shows that everyone loves to this day.
Let's go to some video games.
Yeah, well, I said, let's go to some video games. Everyone's talking about the up and coming Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh yeah, talking of Final Fantasy, I managed to get it for myself for free, and no, not pirated. I just randomly got it as a gift because of Game Pass.
Oh,
I'm
really?
planning on playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I'm planning on playing it, although I think that was the previous one, Final Fantasy. I'll check later. But honestly, it's very convenient just getting random games for free because you are a loyal member. Although it's a bit.
I mean, that's very much how these kind of Game Passes go. I don't know if you remember, but Nintendo, they had like a Nintendo fan club or a thing going on, or Nintendo Club.
Yeah.
Come on, they were giving like free controllers to some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, about the free controllers thing. Okay, so we're gonna go back into the times where both of us weren't even born, thought of to be conceived. If I remember correctly, the controversy was Super Mario Party. I think it was 4 or 3. And there was one mini game where the 3 people were pulling. It was tug of war. One of the people was Bowser. The others were pulling against Bowser. And the thing is, what people would do is they would set their N64 controllers on the ground and they would use the palm of their hand to force.
Oh,
the,
on force, yeah. Oh, yes, the
Yeah,
N64 controller.
And then they kept
Oh,
on,
yes.
and then I think they cut their accidentally
Cut their wrists
palms onto-
while doing it.
Yeah, and so Nintendo sent literally, or not literally, but like everybody a glove specifically designed so you could play this level efficiently.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
It's just like that freaking GameCube keyboard controller.
Oh, I love that keyboard controller.
I mean, come on,
Makes
talk
Final
about a
Fantasy-
choking hazard.
It truly is.
Oh,
When
Lord
it comes to
almighty.
older games, I mean, I'm pretty sure both of us are very knowledgeable in older games.
Oh yeah, come on now. You can test my
Especially
knowledge all you
Nintendo.
want, buddy.
Let's say example, there was this one little trick that you could do with, let's say, PS2s, where you insert the disc of the game. Okay, you have the memory card, everything ready, and then you decide just mid game, take the disc out. The game will still run because the reason being. The way it does, it's like a YouTube video where it loads ahead before you use those parts. Yeah, so that's how it works. It's a really neat trick. It's funny, very funny. But honestly, when it comes to retro video games, I mean.
Sorry, my
Turned off for a second. You can you hear me now?
Oh, wait, your mic is kind of going bad.
How's that?
There we go. Honestly, nobody can go wrong with on retro video games. Am I right?
Oh yeah. Your mic is fine. It was just mine. It kind of blacked out for a second. I don't know why. But I actually wanted to talk about some topics of game glitches that you can kind of control on command. There was, I forgot which console it was, but it was way before, like even before our parents even existed. All right, like it was right around 1971, actually. And
That's,
this
pretty far
game,
back.
like what?
That's pretty far back.
Yeah, pretty far back. It was literally right around the time that the first video game console, the Odyssey, came out, actually.
Yeah, I have a whole book about it.
Yeah, and it is a game where you can literally... You can almost win by chance, where you can literally just go infinity beyond by literally doing a specific jump and literally go infinity and beyond. Literally a limitless map. The first limitless map in video game history. I just forgot the game, unfortunately. And literally, this was before the fucking Atari. It was before Atari, man. It was right around-
Speaking of Atari, let's talk about the history of video games when it comes to Atari specifically.
Oh.
If I remember correctly, I mean, you've ever heard? I know that you know about Pong on a chip, right?
The what?
Pong on a chip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that basically caused the video game crash of, I think, 1983, something like that.
1983.
Yeah, so back to, let's not skip so far ahead, but when it comes to the let's say the first controversy that I remember about Atari is the fact that people accused Atari of copying Magnavox's Magnavox, right? Yeah, Magnavox, obviously. People were accusing Atari of copying Magnavox's game called Tennis, where it's like Pong.
Yeah, it's like Pong in a
shittier.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, and basically they made Pong, if I remember correctly, the flagship for their first console, the 3200, right?
Yeah.
No.
The
3200.
Wait. So 2800. Yeah, the 3200. Sorry.
Yeah, the 3200. They made it the flagship game for that. It was so popular that you go anywhere in the United States, Pong. That's really so funny.
There were about 6 million freaking game consoles just about Pong. Even Nintendo was on.
Yeah, I mean, if you want me to, I can go get my little magazine and we can just read off of this Pong consoles. Like we have this weird Pong console from 1987, or that's a bit too far ahead. Or like with this other Pong console from this time. I mean, there's a whole ass list of it.
Also, speaking of Atari, I found the game name. It's actually called Mountain King on the Atari 2600.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah, it's literally you have to jump on a specific place and you're literally going unlimited, like to infinity and beyond. Literally never ending.
Oh yeah.
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 Also,
To
if
infinity
you look at
and
that
beyond.
game, it was actually very well animated for the time. It actually looked like a
I mean,
it looked like a
honestly,
stickman.
everything about the Magnavox Odyssey, everything about it was ahead of its time.
No, it's not the Odyssey. It was actually on Atari 2600.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I
come on.
thought
Atari was a
mistake,
lot
but-
more ahead than freaking Odyssey. At least you could
Yeah.
actually tell the graphics to an extent, obviously.
Yeah, to an extent. I
I mean, come
you
on.
can't-
You look at
I
Superman
still
on the Atari
remember-
2600. You cannot understand the freaking thing in that thing.
Yeah, honestly, absolutely, crackers of consoles.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Although,
yeah.
let's be honest.
And it was
when comes-
around this time.
Yeah.
Around this time, I think Nintendo released the TV game 15. Was
TV
it?
game
There was
15, yeah.
TV game, yeah. Yeah, 15. Just for those people who don't know, the TV game was basically one of the first few consoles Nintendo ever released, and before that, if you're wondering, still Nintendo made trading cards,
love
that's
hotels,
Pokemon.
taxis, and toys.
Yeah, they even made guns at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
World War
so,
II.
Yeah, World War II. They started making this one gun prototype that I completely forgot the name of. So
Imagine they
back
called
to
it
the topic.
freaking Bowser.
Yeah, imagine on Call of Duty World War II, you were killed by a gun named Bowser.
Bro, if that was like a Japanese Flammenwerfer or the M1 flamethrower, oh my god!
Oh my god.
That would have been the best character development I've ever seen in my freaking life.
I mean, imagine just looking at a turtle and saying, that guy was definitely a flamethrower before he became
Yeah.
a turtle. That's interesting.
You know what? Let's just take
mean,
this
the thing-
freaking turtle, shove it a freaking gun up its ass, so it can flame the fucking fuck out of these fuckers.
Yeah, it's like every time I'd look at Bowser, I'd say, this guy's actually killed people before.
Yeah.
By flaming people to death. Absolutely hilarious.
I would have
No,
been
anyways.
freaking hilarious, honestly. It's a lot more better
No.
character development than Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I know.
Come on now.
Back to back to the history lessons.
Yeah.
Now, if I remember correctly, Pong on a chip was basically Pong put onto a very simplistic chip, and the invention of Pong on a chip was such a travesty in the video game industry. It caused many different what's it called? Many different clones of the Atari 3200. You know.
Yeah. I mean, honest, the Atari 3200 was a mess of its own in the United States anyway. Actually, funny enough, when the Atari 3200, when it came out in Iraq, it was a success, believe it or not.
I mean, yeah, so the thing is, if I remember correctly, during the 1983 crash of the video game industry, because of the, I think it was around early December, when the crash happened. Basically, the way it happened was companies, what they did was they looked at previous year sales, they went up, so they overproduced. And so then consumer fatigue set in because they all looked at these consoles. Hey, this one's the same. Oh, this one's the same. They just have different controllers and different colors. I don't know which one to get, so they don't get any of them. So that causes a massive crash where nobody wants to buy it. Then retailers put them on, what are they called? Clearance shelves to move product. And basically, in the United States, it's the hottest industry goes from the hottest industry to a barren wasteland. I think even Mad Max had a more diverse wasteland than that.
And you know, that's the beauty of video games in a way, because it's so international to the point that everyone forgets that for every country it was different. In 1983,
Yeah.
it was literally the end for when it comes to, you know, arcades. The moment that they came back is the moment that Street Fighter 2 and Mortal Kombat hit the scene. You know what I mean? That's when they came back. That was their biggest boom back. You know what I mean? When it comes
Okay,
to
now
Japan,
another thing.
yeah.
Hold on. Sorry for interrupting. But when it comes to the 1983 collapse, note that I only mentioned the United States' industry because, example, Japan. The thing about Japan is they didn't employ Pong on a chip to the extent of U.S. companies because they created their own little ecosystem where, let's say, everyone had original games. It's a bit of an exaggeration, but you get what I mean.
Bro, have
No,
you
I
seen their
understand.
freaking arcade game of Street Fighter 1 where you literally have
Oh
to hit
my.
the button in order to hit the actual freaking fighter?
Yeah. Now,
Come
as
on,
you were
like when it
saying,
comes to Japan, they were innovative with their freaking arcade machines. They were innovative.
I mean, honestly, I may not like the Japanese much for very few reasons, but this is one of the many things that I like them for.
Come on. Although we can never forgive them for what the hell they did with Ghosts and Goblins for the arcade or even the Japanese.
Oh.
God help anyone that played that version. God help anyone that paid for the arcade version. The
Oh my
biggest stealer
God.
of money ever. I
Fucking hell, I'm
swear
getting
to
flashbacks.
God.
I'm getting flashbacks. Anyways, okay, so truth be told, yeah, just the point is, Japan had a more healthy ecosystem than the United States. So the 1983 crash. Oh no, wait, you were saying something before, right, AJ?
I was saying that, like, when it comes to Japan, it's not even just Japan. Everyone, they think about video games, they were only thinking about the two biggest guys, which was obviously at the time, it was only Japan and the United States, but they were not even thinking about it even beyond that. When it comes to Europe, when it comes to the Middle East, and when it comes to Eastern Europe, it's not even just like everyone think, oh, Western Europe, all right, that's just freaking Western Europe, like Britain and all that. But even that's kind of the same as the United States and Japan. But everyone, they always forget about, like, even China. Even China had a freaking video game market, and everyone literally just turned a blind eye to it. Hell, the freaking Atari
I know.
3200.
Even today, they still do that.
Exactly. Even today's they still do that. China, they have their own freaking video game consoles, and everyone just turns a blind eye to it. And the thing
Yeah,
is,
it's unfortunate.
and the thing is, everyone has to remember that certain video game consoles are not just national, but also international, and not just international to a few countries, but no, to the worldwide market. Like the Atari 3200 and the 2600. The Atari 3200 in Iraq was a lot more famous than the Atari 2600. Everyone in Iraq remembers the Atari 3200 like it was their freaking PS2. If you go to any regular old boomer in Iraq, bro, they'll be like, oh, my son used to pester me all about it. You know what I mean? That I had to buy him a couple of games. And the thing is, it was a success. It was actually a success. Thing is, everyone played soccer or football more than video games. So, yeah.
All right then. So I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. So you can go ahead and monologue for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah. Oh man, actually, when it comes to all these kinds of difference in markets, and even just not even beyond markets, also in consoles and the quality, and even just video games in general, between these countries, it is honestly amazing. Like, for example, just even the most simplest of things I mentioned before in Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins in America, fair. Ghosts and Goblins in Japan, right to hell. Not even right to hell. You're already in hell. You're riding in hell. For God's sakes, no continues. I die all the freaking time. Literally 2 hits, dead. That's it. Gone. Oh, man. I can only imagine how Cuphead would have been. Honestly. But even beyond all that, what actually surprises me a lot more with the Atari, it really is the space for every single kind of game you could ever wanted and ever needed. And God's sakes, you can find one hell of gems. And for God's sakes, you can find so many terrible games that you don't even know how they even made it to the market. I mean, Custard's Revenge. Lord Almighty.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, yeah. I was actually saying, welcome back, first of all. And I was actually talking about how in Atari you could find the most hidden, beautiful gems and the worst pieces of shit you have ever seen in your life. And I've talked to you about one, Custard's Revenge.
yeah, I heard you mention that the moment I got on. What is that?
Custer's Revenge. First of all, if anyone doesn't know who Custer did, General Custer was actually a U.S. general that actually fought in the American Civil War and the American Indian Wars, and he was mostly fighting in the American Indian Wars in the Union side. And in one battle, I forgot which battle, but it's nicknamed Custer's Last Stand, in which he failed and he died. He got killed in action. And
Wasn't that the battle where he severely underestimated the Indian resistance?
Yeah, it basically went on like that, and he terribly commanded his units, and what do you know, that's his last stand. Thing is, what the hell does...
That's in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, and the thing is, what the hell does any of this have to do with Atari? You know what I mean? Or even just video games or any movie, like movie adaptations, you know what I mean? Like, that's a whole other story. But video games, what the hell are you going to be playing? On Atari, for God's sake. What are you going to be playing? Freaking Hearts of Iron 4, American Indian Wars, the Atari version? Come on now.
Or the Oregon Trail.
Come on, Oregon Trail is just beautiful, alright? No one can ever insult
honestly.
it.
Yeah, nobody can insult it without being wrong objectively.
Exactly. And second of all, it's not even Atari. That's on the freaking computer. It's on the Commodore. And as I was saying, just guess. How the hell did they put custard in Atari? Just how? I just want you to take the most random guess you've ever thought in your life. And I mean every random guess.
Okay, my first random guess. They managed to code a frog's brain and they to contain the game, and then they linked up the frog's game and brain to the Atari, and they played it like that.
I mean, there was a rain, but it has nothing to do with animals. I'll just tell you that.
Okay, I have no idea.
Are you ready?
I think.
Are you sure?
I'm worried, but okay, go ahead.
In the objective, you must, first of all, avoid falling arrows. Now, that's normal. So far, so normal, right?
Uh-huh.
And then ahead of you, you see a naked Indian woman.
Oh no.
Right near a cactus. In position. Your objective is to rape her. I'm not kidding. There is an Atari 2600 game that a kid could just buy in 1970 whatever it was, where you can rape Native Americans.
Indian.
Yeah.
That is worrying.
And no, they actually added details to the erection.
I thought it was gonna be like one of those like options like rape her, do not rape her, and if you
No,
chose to
no,
rape
that
her,
is literally
it was
the
just, like,
objective. I mean, what else are you gonna be doing? Just freaking avoiding falling arrows, which are impossible, by the way, because first of all, they don't even fall completely, and second of all, you don't even know what is the trajectory of it.
Okay. So, like, the first thing that I thought was, like, the moment you came up to her and you started doing the thing, it would just cut to black and immediately it would skip to the aftermath. But the fact that, at this point, I think it's the world's first hentai game.
Actually, it is not, and there is actually a lot more games like, well, not like 100% like that, but definitely like that on the Atari 2600. And believe me, you'll find it mostly on the Atari 2600. Like, there is a game where you run around as a lady with other men, seriously, on 2600. And there's another game where you blast the man Bazooka Juice into other gender mouths.
I'm speechless at this point.
Seriously, it's literally like Galaga, but you know, that. I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm entirely speechless.
And the thing is, do you know how you could buy that? Do you know how?
Just walk into a Blockbuster and then poof, you just buy it.
No, this is how you first of all have to hear it from a rumor. You have to hear it like from a random talk, you go to a Blockbuster or whatever kind of like a kind of a home shop for video games and films and VHS, mostly VHS at that time, and you say, "Give me your video games from the back." You will literally have to say it like that. And he says, "Hold on," and he'll come out not with the game, because back then they would just stick out the game like it's a regular thing. No, it is covered in a leather. I swear to God, in a leather kind of packaging, like
So
a literal
leather
purse.
pouch.
It's in a purse. It is in a freaking purse.
Okay, so the thing is, I think the reason why it was so easy to get these games is because
It's
the
because they
ESRB
were not
didn't exist
licensed.
at the time. Yeah, the ESRB didn't exist at the time, and also they were licensed. And I think the ESRB was made because of this one scene.
Mortal Kombat 1. Or Mortal
Kombat. Where it's like a IRL scene where they have this like stick with a ring around it, and they have it around like a woman's neck. I don't remember what happened next.
It's other than that. It's the Mortal Kombat 1. Fatality.
Yeah.
Come on. You have to admit the Sub-Zero's, rip out your head or rip out your skull fatality. It changed video game history forever. You have to admit it. I mean, look, when it comes to shooting people in pixels and shooting people where they actually look like human beings, that is a whole different story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still impossible to reciprocate to this day, and that's why Mortal Kombat is one of the few very great gems on still doing it, because for God's sakes, they still make hit after hit after hit. Like, apart from a few ones that actually freaking suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, for God's sake, come on. No one can insult Mortal Kombat 1. I love Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, anyone who insults it, unless they have, let's say, a good reason to. I mean, I've heard some people insult older games for saying, "Oh, the graphics are not good," and I stare at them.
Bro, what do you mean the graphics are not
Dumbfounded.
good? I never seen a detailed human rib.
Yeah, the thing is, I've told people. Let's say I have a friend, right? I'm not gonna say his name, but let's give him a fake name. Let's just give him a default US name. I can't think of one. Johnny.
Yeah,
So
let's
little
just call it Johnny. Yes, papa. Yes, papa.
Yeah, so Johnny, me and him, we play a lot of we play a lot of games on the Xbox.
Yeah.
And so since he also has the Game Pass, I kept on pestering him. Why don't you play Gears of War 1, 2, 3? And he says to me, those are old games, direct quotes. And then I say, what's wrong with them? And he says, the graphics are bad. And by the way, he's a fan of, what was it called? Football Manager 2023.
Whoa. He's a fan of Football Manager 2023, where you can make the freaking character or the freaking player so freaking ridiculous because it's FIFA, for fuck's sake. It's freaking EA. But he's gonna make fun of Gears of War?
Yeah, and the worst part is that I played it before, and I swear, no offense to anybody, but the graphics. Oh my! I don't have any words. I think that one FIFA game on the SNES had better graphics than the Football Manager 2023.
Bro, freaking what was it? Ronaldo football is a lot more better than it.
Yeah, honestly, I told him, like, Johnny, how the hell do you like this Football Manager game?
It's literally in the name. It's not
graphics.
supposed to be a sequel to FIFA 2023 or FIFA 23. It is literally a whole different thing. I mean, at this point, you might as well just play PES. Even that one's better.
Yeah, as I was saying, I told him, how do you like this game with its terrible graphics, and that you do not like Gears of War 1 because of its graphics. And he said to me that he didn't have any arguments, I presume. So he just said to me, it's an old game. And then I didn't even know what I said next. I just the next memory was just blurs. But let's just say I got mad.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
Tune in Doom music.
I'm not the type of
Hobby is
person-
pissed off.
Yeah, and, like, I'm not the type of person to usually get mad, like genuinely get mad. I mean, let's say, I think y'all just saw me get mad at like some woke shit, you know. But that the thing is, that's not genuine anger. It's just me expressing emotions. But when I'm actually mad,
Believe
let's
me,
just say,
guys, when he is mad, he just gonna make a freaking Doom guy seem like a little puppy.
No, seriously, like one time I was playing Minecraft with a friend, okay, and
The
I
most
told him,
calmest game, by the way.
What?
The most calmest game in the world, by the way.
Yeah, I told him that he had a habit of digging to bedrock, or as I call it, to the entrance
To the end of the
hell.
world.
Yeah, so I told him, do not dig to the entrance of hell. I said that to him explicitly, and then he like 5 minutes later, I'm off doing my own thing, and he says to me, I need some help. I go over to his house, like it's a tree house that I built for him, and I look down and I I see this deep ass tunnel that goes. I don't even see the bottom. That's how deep it was. And then I asked, what did you do? And he said, direct quote, I kind of dug down to bedrock, and I got so mad, I put water into the hole, and I just left him like that for like 2 minutes. And then he started pleading with me, saying, hey, like, can you get me out of here? And then I went down, died, lost my stuff. I didn't lose it, just dropped all my stuff. And then I had to desperately get some a bucket from my home, which was a fair distance. And then I had to run back, pick the water up, and then just like slowly MLG back down. And this was on hard mode, by the way, so there were mobs attacking me all the time because they managed to get into a cave. And then I died again and again. And then another friend came over. I'm not really going to give names. It's just and later the next day he told me that I gave him ear cancer because of how much I was yelling at him. I kept on calling him a fucking dumb and retarded retard.
Okay.
I mean, truly, like he said, I gave him ear cancer. And the thing is, I still remember what I said to him. I said to him that I wasn't even mad. I was just disappointed.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very much disappointed. Continues to yell at your fucking ears with a fucking siren for a mouth.
Yeah, I was mad and disappointed at the same time, but I think more mad.
Yeah. Hold on, dude. Just hold on.
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Now, another ridiculous story while he's off. Okay. So, another ridiculous story. I'd say there's another ridiculous story that I always find absolutely hilarious. So whenever I decide to play any games, I have this. Let's just go back to the Johnny friend, alright? And every single time I play against him, alright, let's say we're good friends, me and Johnny. So whenever we play games, let's say example, last time this happened, it was Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remaster. Okay, we were playing it like first day we played it. It was pretty fun. We were enjoying it, that type of stuff. And then the next day, he got so agitated. Like he kept on like before I could beat him, he would leave to say, you didn't win because you beat me. You won because I left, or because I left." And like he's saying that he gave me the win. And at the end of it, I told him like, "Oh, dude, what is wrong with you? Why are you doing this?" And by the end of that, he got so mad. I'll just entertaining our patrons here. So as I was saying, he got so mad that he just deleted Need for Speed and said to me, direct quote, I hope we never play, or I hope we never, no hold on, I don't remember exactly what he said, but I hope we never play Need for Speed Hot Pursuit again. And just to give some context to AJ here, basically me and Johnny again,
I heard you all the way back there. I kind of left the computer, on.
Alright, so
Yeah.
you heard the whole story.
Yeah, I heard the whole story, lad. I'll tell you this.
Hey.
You've seen me game, like, you've seen me how I rage.
Yes, very much.
You know what I mean? And the thing is, That's what I'm playing on a decent level, but I actually, do you know what I was thinking? We can do on the second episode of this podcast, which you can tune in tomorrow, inshallah. I was thinking that I'm going to be downloading Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy.
Oh, yeah, no, the thing is about the Getting Over It is it's one of my more favorite games. Reason being is because I watched the video. Not sponsored again, but I'm gonna tell you who made the video. It was The Cursed Judge on YouTube. It
Check
was
him out.
about games. What?
Check him out. You know, to every one of the Patreons that are actually watching this episode, check this guy out. Shout out to him.
Honestly, big shout out to him. Honestly, even though yes, we're a small podcast, I still want to honor him because his videos are very emotional. That's what I can say. They bring back emotions of like, let's say, for long forgotten ages. Now I could give an example. One of his videos, I forgot what it was. It was about games that will never be played again, I think it was. And he explained Getting Over It as a game where the more you play, the more it speaks to the creator. That your determination silently replies to the ghost of the passion of the creator, saying that I'm here, I'm still playing, and I'm still listening to you monologue. And because I don't know if you know, but in the game.
There is a deep monologue in the game. The thing is, it's very much overshadowed because once you play it once, you don't want to play it again.
And honestly, like I'm the type of person where I'm a very sentimental person. I like to. I always love a good story. I always love like this type of things. And even though yes, when I rage, I rage. I mean, no, I'm not gonna say that. But let's just say I rage. But when it comes to games like this, there's just something in me that I don't know how to describe it. Okay, let me just try to describe it in the best way I can. So imagine the way say someone says that, oh, that's a face only a mother could love. That's somewhat how I feel. Where whenever I play this game, like even though yes, it makes me want to rip out my own femur and beat someone to death with it. Even though yeah, it definitely makes me want to do that. I still play it because like it's art. I mean it's art, and video games I consider to be one of the more interactive versions of art because I mean the creators and their passion and the stories and all that. You know.
You know, actually, I decided to make a better decision. Instead of playing Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, I'm gonna play Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy on high difficulty. Actually,
I thought you were gonna say you're gonna play Super Sexy Hiking, which is
that's what I meant.
Oh, oh no!
I'm gonna torture myself. And do it in the next episode of The Gaming Center.
Yeah.
So be ready for that, and I'm sure you're gonna enjoy that, Abe. I'm very sure you're
honestly,
gonna.
AJ, I am very worried. I definitely am worried. But speaking of the second episode, I think we should cut it into two. You know, like one part for Super Sexy Hiking, and the other part for a different game.
Yeah.
Let's we do that. Hold on. Let me just give some backstory as to why we started this podcast. So me and the AJ, we were playing a game, okay? No, I was playing a game, he was watching. It was one of those games where you like it's a 2D game, like characters pop up on the screen, and there's dialogue and shit, you know, that type of stuff. So what me and him were doing, we were giving each character ridiculous accents.
I'm a voice actor, of course I can do it, but oh man, no matter how we do it, no matter if you're Mel Blanc to the worst AI freaking voice acting, it will be the funniest shit you'll ever see in your life.
Yeah, so I was thinking, episode 2, we just make it. Like first part is you raging, and second part is just us being just two dumb hooligans, just giving the random characters like Indian accents, like hello, how are you doing?
Yes, my brother, I will continue to play this freaking game.
Yes, I will continue to investigate the murder of this.
Yeah, as we were saying, you know, like it's gonna be a pretty fun episode. The next one, come on, voice
honestly,
acting.
Yeah.
Come on now, it's
Yeah,
just
voice acting, too much fun. Like I'll be doing like half the accents, and he'll be doing the other half of the accents. I mean, while we were playing, like I heard this guy's Italian, New York Bronx accent. Oh my god, it is amazing.
well, I was raised in a rather Italian neighborhood which was also Irish at the same time. Not Bronx. Fuck New York. Fuck New York.
Yeah.
All right, but definitely, like, if I want to speak in an Irish accent, I can do it pretty easily. Or, if I can be wanting to, if I want to be talking in a rather kind of Italian, no, that's just kind of like a regular American news broadcaster kind of accent, if I'm being honest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to me and my accents, I mostly just do European or South Asian accents. And I say like, here is my Indian accent. It's a bit weird, but hey, Indian accent is still Indian accent. And then I do not know about you, but I don't think that speaking Russian accent is much of a no, it's actually very much of a skill, because I mean, even though I don't know Russian myself, even though I wish to know it, it's still a bit of a challenge to do the accent, because every time you have to remember to do h instead of h, because in Russian they do not have the H sound, you know.
Well, I don't know about you, but you are better than me when it comes to doing a Slavic accent, my friend.
Yeah, because I have a lot of Slavic friends, and then when it comes to my hillbilly accent, like, I don't know about you, but I know for a fact that I do no killing stuff right there, man.
It is real bad now. It is really bad, and I would never do it if it was literally counting on my life. No thank you.
And officer, I was definitely not drinking like 5 shots of whiskey before I came here. So
What do you mean 10 shots of whiskey? I never even heard of a whiskey in my life.
Yeah, I don't know about you two officers, but I don't know. I feel like I'm about to.
It's really gonna be a fun one. And before that, me raging my life. I'm gonna age 20 years, aren't I? Oh God.
Yeah, I hope that nobody in the apartment block just hears you screaming some of the most prolific things.
And you know, that's actually gonna be the challenge. Try not to scream.
Oh my God.
So I'm really gonna torture myself in the second episode, aren't I? Oh Lord. Try not to rage and rage at the same time. Oh God, help me. Especially that we're gonna be playing right around midnight. Oh God, help me.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah.
Yeah. And since I'm the only child, there's only one person that's going to be making the noise. Oh no.
And it's only you. So yeah.
Yep.
God bless you.
Yeah.
God be
Well,
with you as
that's.
well.
You know what? The show must go on, and we better do it. Well, and you know, I really think it's going to be a really amazing episode, as this episode was. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of the Gaming Center
did.
with Monster Fighter Pain and.
I bet it.
And we hope to see you next time on the Gaming Center. Good night and good day.